So surprise, surprise, we're actually at my sister's house. They bought an old wood stove and then it was a bit too much of a trouble, so they bought a new one, and this was not cheap, this SOB. Yeah, got like damper controls and all these sort of things. Yeah, that's your insulated things. You've got like your insulation in, so you can sit something else on top. And a lot of the time, because they're on grid, they just use this little induction cooker or this little late 90s oven thingy, or the good old microwave. Some of you remember where we were working on this place trying to clean it up, and we had the ceiling out and everything, and now it's all, sort of all turned out pretty good. Got the exhaust fan at the top. These are original floorboards. Some of them got the little gaps, which you can almost see there in them. Yeah, I remember chiseling out a bunch of old rubble and then pouring this bit of concrete, and this window was in. They've since continued on with the deck, and that's that damn bucket of bolts there. So I believe we actually done this one, because I can remember doing all these. And yeah, lovely wall on this side. I'm certain I've done this with him actually. And we've done the front weatherboards, which are much like the side weatherboards here, where they're cut out of an actual, directly from a trunk. But we've done those on the front of the kitchen. And originally when I was here, we had this tiny little bit of blooming decking, just like a little strip that went between the two. Well, they've widened the whole thing and closed it, put a roof on. There's some of the boards of the actual house that I put on. And they put some floating floor in. And it's all enclosed, and they just sort of... There's a way you go with all the local government rules that you just sort of, one by one, you can put a deck in with no permit, and then you do this and do that, and eventually you can just sort of apply for another one. It's sort of a bit of a tactic where you just go for one small one, another small one, and they always approve the small ones. But if you go big one, it's like, oh, hang on a minute, we're going to have to reassess all this. So they know the way the game's played, so they've done it that way. So anyway, still the old original 4. These doors are thin as thin. These are very interesting, these, and they've left this one deliberately without wallpaper, because it's not sawn. It's actually just split, like with an axe. So some of the ceiling that we put in was chipboard, and some of that had a few issues and has been replaced with your run-of-the-mill drywall. Yeah, shower and all that looks much the same as it always did. I remember sticking all this stuff on as well, all the wallpaper. How's that for a toilet roll holder? You can't see that again. Washing machine's just rumbling away here. These doors are incredibly, like, they're always gappy, and the planks are like thin as like 1/4 inch. All these doors are... It's another one of the original doors. Look at the gaps. Imagine the bloody draft blowing in back in the day. So yeah, they did have a fireplace, and I remember taking a lot of bricks out to do this fireplace, and they decided to get rid of the fireplace, and they've just gone and put it, like they had a chimney, and he rebuilt the chimney right through the roof, and that was all when I was here. And it ripped it right back to like these huge bluestone blocks right at ground level. We went right down to ground level, and then he remortared right through, built a whole new chimney up the top. Inevitably, they must have decided they were losing too much heat or whatever. I think they didn't have slow burn control or whatever. And so yeah, they got a proper brand new one and put all that in. And yeah, and remember I was saying there's like a venting system in this place that my sister designed. Well, that's the truss. So you get your wood heater here, and she just goes up, and that there is ducted to go to all the bedrooms. And they got like a switch that used to be like a bit of a like a actual power point with a lead dangler, coming through the blooming side of the wall that you'd have to then just turn the power point on. But they made it like a proper switch, and I got a feeling that that's it. And it's actually like a blooming 12-hour timer thing, but the knob just fell off there, so yeah. Yeah. Everything else is still much the same. Old style door handle. What none of these people do properly when they have a wood heater, you know. And outside we go. This is, we had all these stupid rules about restoring, so you can't use a new paste, so you got to use like 2 bits sort of thing sandwiched together, so some of the original paste remains. I thought that was a bit full on, but apparently that's the rules. I remember we were working out on the level of veranda using surveying equipment off of this step, and we're going all right, and then he turns around, he's doing it, not doing this by hand, I'll do it with a little excavator. So done it with a little excavator, and then bang, knocked the bloody step of the excavator, and that was like, well, now that's shot all our flaming points out. So yeah, there's a little cat around here too. They've got a cat that's sort of got a fairly long nose, but it's a little bit fearful of me because it doesn't really know who I am. They've put in a few extra little gates in that. I think there's a little one. That one was there when I went last time, but they're sort of neighbours' cows. Sometimes wander across, and they come across from the other side of the river. And so not just the neighbours next door, but the ones across the river. So they're pretty good at walking through water, and especially if there's plenty of apples on the other side. So here and there we've got a lot of gates and fences and stuff. There's a horse too. Niece had a horse, and now they sold that one. They got another horse that doesn't do much but eat grass down there. So hazelnut trees. Got some funny ones that come up like a pecan or some blooming other thing that just sort of come back from dead stumps. Yeah, all a lot of what's his names? Plums, obviously. Thornless blackberry. I think on this side there's raspberry and raspberry. Yeah. If you give them a little jingle and they're ready, they'll fall off. There's a massive veggie garden. Look at all this stuff it's hanging. So there's a wild blackberry it's got in here, but that's the Oregon grape in there. Here it is. You guys know what this is. They originally thought it was holly, and I said, no, it's not holly. And they're going, don't let the kids eat any. I said, well, I'm eating them. Well, you can eat them, but don't let the kids eat any. And so Oregon grape, and they're actually pretty damn, not this year, but when I was here the second year, like 6 years ago, they were pretty prolific, and I was eating a damn lot of them. And wow, they got some vitamin C. I never knew. Well, I never knew what they tasted like because it was the first time eating them, because they're not really a Australian thing, and I was a little bit stunned to even find them here, to be quite honest. But the veggie garden, I might make the veggie garden another video, but we're just about there.